Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Sugar Mama's Fire Play podcast. I am financial planner Canna Campbell, and happy manifesting March. Everyone, welcome back. This is a special podcast. It's an additional podcast this week, and it is to celebrate my absolute favorite, fun, beautiful, creative financial challenge, Manifesting March, which I believe is its 6th or 7th year in a row. Now, every year I do this challenge, the results get bigger. They magnify, they multiply. So I'm really excited and a little bit scared as to see what's going to happen this year with Manifesting March, but I want to share with you the steps to do this type of work so that if you want, and if you feel comfortable, you can join in with me, or if you want, just watch on the sidelines and see what happens. I'll be posting a whole pile of updates every day on TikTok and a little bit on Instagram stories, but on my lifestyle account, Canna Campbell Official, because I understand and accept that sometimes this manifesting work can be very polarizing and it's not for everyone. So whilst I will be doing this podcast today and I will be doing a summary at the end of March as to what happens, I will go back to my normal content around investing, superannuation, retirement planning, everything you need to know about being smart, wise, and proactive with your money. Now, another quick shout out, I published with Michael Thompson, my co-host from How Do You Afford That, a brilliant podcast yesterday morning, and it's gone gangbusters. It's now our number one best performing podcast, and it's where I actually talk about the introduction of Manifesting March, because Michael is very skeptical of Manifesting March, and that I really like that because he challenges me. Now, in this podcast, we have so much fun. I'm really laughing at him a lot. And he takes it really well. But he's, as I said, a skeptic. But I actually managed to convince him to get on board with Manifesting March, which is I'm very proud of, I have to say. But in this podcast, I also share the incredible story behind how I manifested our new home, because that really did happen out of the blue. And I really had to let go of any self-limiting beliefs and open myself up to this type of work. So if you're like new to manifesting and you're like, come on, Canna, what the hell are you talking about? Go listen to this podcast first and then come back to this one, because you'll be a lot more accepting of this podcast. Now, I'm going to take you through the 7 steps as to how to do Manifesting March. And I also wanted to explain to you, though, what manifestation really is, because some people just stop right there going, I don't understand what you're talking about, I'm tuning out. Please don't do that. Just understand what this is. And even if you're a teeny tiny bit open, you are on your way to having potentially an incredible experience from this. I don't want to call it work, because work sounds dull and boring. I'm going to call it from this craft. Okay, so manifestation is simply the transportation of goals and dreams consciously and subconsciously in your head, heart, and mind. And we simply transport them into your reality, where you can feel them, you can see them, and you can enjoy them. Now, manifestation results turn up in many different forms. And it's important that you see this and understand this so that you can then identify it when it happens. Manifestation may turn up in money, in a monetary form. And that's nothing wrong with that. That's amazing and great. That's what my manifestation goal is this year. But it also can be a variety of different things. It might be a holiday. It might be an experience. It might be an adventure. It might be a new job opportunity. It might be a new job. It might be a promotion. It might be a new friendship. It might be a new business connection. It might be a new business idea. It might be an additional business idea. It really is quite incredible. And it can also be gifts. It could be refunds. It can be cash back. It can be, as I said, experiences, new insights. And sometimes manifestation actually even turns up in a way which is a blessing in disguise, because it presents itself in your life to stop you from doing something, or steer you in a different direction, or protect you from something that may be potentially toxic or dangerous or even tragic. So manifestation works in weird, wild, and beautiful ways. I've had so many experiences in my life of this. So these are the 7 steps to follow if you want to manifest in March with me. Number 1 is to get clear. You need to be laser focused, so clear, so precise, so on point with exactly what you want. And I want you to really understand that this is manifesting March, not manifesting 2023. We are just going to be doing this for the next 31 days. So we really need to have a small amount of time to manifest some serious stuff. So be clear. And I also want to put a tip in here. Because we have limited time now, I really recommend just having one goal for this particular challenge. If you want to have lots of multiple goals, that's fine, but it's a little bit like lots of credit cards and credit card debt. You're juggling lots of different balls in the air. You're likely to drop one and therefore drop lots. So I personally am just giving myself one goal to work on for manifesting March. It's a big one. It's a scary one, but I'll share lots of bits about it on TikTok and, of course, in this podcast. Now, you will almost need to have a elevator pitch when it comes to being able to verbalize to yourself or other people what you want to manifest by the 31st of March, 2023. Notice how I'm being really detailed about the date, and that is because that is the deadline. You see, when we say for the next 30 days or in March or over the next month, it's very vague. It doesn't actually make us accountable with our time and spur that action and that proactive action that's really required for this space and for these things to unfold in front of you. So give yourself a proper deadline so you realize the clock is ticking and you need to get on and do this work if you really want this result to unfold in front of you. And another couple of tips are be really careful as to the language you choose. Avoid using don't, want, can't, because sometimes you can attract the actual opposite and manifest the opposite, which is what I've done before. A classic example was when I was writing my dream job, I wrote all these things like great pay, bonus structure, career progression, and then I wrote not long hours. I manifested to the T that exact job, but with obscene hours. Like I think I was doing between 60 to 80 hours a week with this job. And when I looked at what I was doing, I was like, why have I manifested this incredible job with these horrific hours that were actually killing me? I looked at my list and I saw not long hours. So that's a little tip. So be very, very careful that you use positive words and they're in the present moment and you have that deadline in there. And with that, obviously being positive, so focusing on what you want, being present is incredibly important as well. So I don't want you to think about and write your goal as I am going to or I will. Everything is I am. I am paying off my credit cards. I am saving $20,000. I am getting my new dream job. I am finding my new dream home. I am booking my holiday to Fiji. I want you to notice how I'm saying it in the positive moment. It is present. And I should also say there by the 31st of March, 2023. So really clear with that. And yes, if you want, you can do a whole pages and pages of journaling around this intention and this goal and get as clear as possible. I highly recommend doing that. But as a top line for a busy person that's wanting to do this with lots of things going on in their lives, keep it short, sharp, and simple, and so goddamn clear so that when you open your eyes in the morning, you spring out of bed because you know exactly what you are working towards. All right, step number 2 is to ask yourself this question. And I want you to write down the answers. So grab that piece of paper and pen. How do you genuinely feel about this goal? How do you feel about this goal? Does this goal make you feel like, oh yeah, that would be nice, that would be cool, yeah, all right, oh yeah, it's okay, yeah. If you're feeling a bit bleh, please delete that goal and find a new one. I want you to be passionately connected to this goal. I want you to feel excited about this goal. I want you to feel empowered by this goal. And if you're even feeling a little bit scared of that goal, that's great. Me too. I think that's wonderful because it means you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And when we step out of our comfort zone, we tend to experience great growth. profound growth, very valuable growth, which is only a good thing. So really ask yourself, how do I genuinely feel? I want this goal to really like literally be like I've electrocuted you when we talk about it. And I also feel that when you do this, and you come up with some like kind of, that would be nice. Yeah, like kind of cool. That's not good enough. I really am here to help you and to serve you. So can you maybe go back to that goal and think about a different type of goal? So if your goal was a monetary goal that doesn't really excite you, maybe it needs to be a health goal or a holiday goal or a new job goal or a new love interest goal. Please, do something that actually means something to you and something you genuinely want, your heart yearns for. And as I said, while it's manifesting March and it's typically around money, it doesn't have to be. It's where your mind, body, and heart wants to take you and where the universe wants to lead you and guide you. All right, step number 3 is to now answer this question. How would you feel about achieving this goal? So it's different to the other question, which was how do you genuinely feel about this goal, as in about working on this goal, whereas this is more about how do you feel about achieving it. Now, again, I'm looking for answers that are excited, empowered, proud, mind blown, like intrigued to achieve more. If these are the sorts of answers, because if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And this also helps us understand and make sure that we are really connected to that goal and we have really great insight and clarity and direction with our intentions, which is step number 1. So really think about how you would feel. And also the great thing about this particular question is it helps expose so that we can then deal with, treat, and release any self-limiting beliefs or any potential self-sabotaging habits or behaviors that may stem from this. Now, in the past, when I've asked myself this, I've discovered that I didn't really have enough faith and confidence in myself. And that did not mean I needed to cut that goal or delete that goal. It just meant I needed to reassess that goal and maybe tweak it and maybe tone it down a little bit. And that is absolutely fine. There's no problem with that whatsoever. And as long as you're toning it down to a level where you actually feel empowered, you feel excited, and you want to have a really great crack at this, that's where you're at. I really genuinely believe it. I'm going to share a story with you at the end of this podcast about what my goal is and how this has happened and what's happened since doing this. Step number 4 is visualization, okay? So visualization is like watching yourself in a movie, or which is in the third person, or doing it in the first person, which is actually being in your body. Now, say for example, you want to manifest a trip to Hawaii by the 31st of March 2023. Now, that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be in Hawaii by 31st of March, because I said manifestation comes in many different forms. But you may manifest, you may book that trip, or you may get the money to go book that trip, or you might just manifest enough points to go and book that trip, or you might discover the perfect saving opportunity to book that in. It comes in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways. But with the visualization work, you must see yourself doing the work, progressing, and see yourself succeeding. Okay, so seeing yourself going through the process, getting little wins along the way, feeling really good, and obviously succeeding at the end. So when you're doing this work, the more detail, the better. And look, it doesn't need to go for a long period of time. Literally, you can do this work anywhere at any time of the day, but it can literally be as quick as like kind of flashback concepts. And when you're doing this work, you have to appeal to all the senses, because you need to see it, but you also need to feel it. So with that example of manifesting a trip to Hawaii, and I would love to go to Hawaii, or maybe I want to manifest a trip to Fiji this year, you would think about the feeling, and you would feel the sunlight on your head as you're lying on the beach in Fiji. You would feel the sensation of the sand between the toes. You would feel the sensation of the cold water wrapped around your waist as you enter it. You would taste the cocktail as you grab the glass, and you would feel the condensation drip off the glass with the water running down maybe to your elbow. You would smell the coconuts, you would smell the sunscreen, you would hear other couples and children maybe laughing or playing or chatting around you. You would feel the warmth of the sun. Appeal to all the senses, the taste, the hear, you hear sounds, even the sensation of movement. You might even feel the breeze, or feeling your body wiggle around on your sun deck. Go as deep as you possibly can. It doesn't need to be going for very long, and have various moments. You might visualize yourself booking online at your desk, booking that trip and getting excited and saying to your colleague, look, I just booked my trip to Hawaii. Like, watch yourself, and that sensation of typing in your payment details and clicking like book now and scrolling through all the different accommodation options. So see yourself and feel yourself during the process and succeeding. And this is very different to daydreaming, okay? Because when you're doing visualization work, it is intentional, okay? It can become free flowing when you get good at it and do it on a regular basis, but it is different to daydreaming. You are actually intentionally saying, I'm manifesting and visualizing this goal, which is a trip to Hawaii that is happening in the 31st of March 2023. And I recommend you do this every morning, and if you can, every night when you jump into bed, so that you create even more imagery in your head. And the fun thing about visualization work is it is a dress rehearsal for your success. You are preparing your head, heart, and mind for this experience. And it's probably the most important thing to do with Manifesting March. All right, step number 5 is to become your inner cheerleader. This is where I'm talking about the language you choose to use. As I said, when it comes to your goals, it's the same thing here. You must talk about this in the present moment. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to Fiji. I'm saving my deposit. My deposit is building. See how it's all in the present moment and it's positive. And also, I want you to really think about your own inner language. So talking to yourself in a kind way and being proud of what you're doing, being proud of your journey and enjoying the journey. You must enjoy this process. Manifesting March is probably more about the journey than the actual result, because when you do this, lots of other things actually flow to you from doing this, and you learn and grow so much. So really looking at the way that you talk to yourself internally and using affirmations. So saying to yourself, I'm really proud, I'm really excited about saving this money for this trip to Hawaii. I'm really excited about buying my first home, owning my first home. I am really proud about how I am getting on top of my credit cards. I'm really proud about how educated I am about money now, and that my knowledge is growing every single day. Notice how I'm talking about myself in a positive way in the present moment, but also from a place of love and kindness. I'm not beating myself up or making fun of myself, because this is a very common thing that I have seen for many, many years, is people tend to like make fun of themselves, or can almost be like very talk about themselves in a very derogative way, like, oh, I'm great at earning money, but I'm even better at spending money. Oh, I can't help it, I always get myself in credit card debt, or I'm so bad with money, or I can never get it right. Like, that does not serve you. When you catch yourself, ask yourself, does this serve me? If your answer is no, you need to be aware of this, and you need to release it, let it go, and try and catch yourself, and then flip it to the polar opposite. Now, if you are very uncomfortable doing this and you don't know how, can I highly recommend you jump on my podcast and you type in the word Sugar Mama, and Sugar Mama is spelled in the Italian spelling of mama, so M-A-M-M-A, and the words affirmations. I have 2 podcasts already up where I have affirmations ready for you. So you literally don't need to think about it. You just need to put your headphones on and listen to me, and I will give you your affirmations. Now, as a little side note, these affirmations are really cool. So I am always getting people DMing me on Instagram saying, hey, Canna, I regularly listen to your affirmations and this is what's happened. And I have the most incredible stories from people, and they will screenshot things and they will take photographs. So I know they're not just making stuff up. This is the truth. And they love their affirmations. And so I promise I will make some more affirmations for you, but I have them in the first person and in the third person, depending on what you prefer and enjoy and like and what works for you. So let me know what you think of these affirmations if you do listen to them and if they do help, because I will make more if you want. So be really aware of stopping that self-sabotaging, negative, toxic self-talk and what you might say out loud to other people or even to the universe, because it doesn't serve you. I want you to flick the switch to the polar opposite. So learning to speak about yourself in a kind way, like I just gave you those couple of examples, but I'll give you some more again. I'm great with money. I'm learning new things every day about money. I attract money. I am worthy of financial freedom and abundance. Every day my wealth is growing. Every day my debts are eroding away and evaporating. I've never felt better about money. I'm excited about what the financial future may bring me. See, these are really good things. You need to become your inner cheerleader, and they need to be positively aligned to the goals in your life and what you are trying to manifest here. Okay, so for me, with my goal, I would be saying I have this very exciting goal I am currently working on. Every day I'm getting one step closer to achieving this magnificent manifestation. See how it puts me into a totally different space. And the reason why I'm saying all this stuff is, yes, it is manifestation work, but guess what? It's also mindset work. We all hear mindset matters. Oh my God, it is so true. Have you ever seen someone achieve great success that's negative and depressed and has low vibration energy and just like a blob? No, we see people achieving things who are go-getters, who have energy, high vibration, excited, passionate, open-minded, appreciative, grateful. They're the ones. So this is why this mindset really does matter. And I believe energy is contagious. So be careful of the people that you expose yourself to if you really want to fine-tune your mindset. Now, step number 6 is about doing, okay? The more you can do, the more, I call them small triggers. You could trigger waves of abundance and manifestation and creativity. So I want you to grab that same piece of paper and pen and write down and brainstorm as many different things, both big and small, that you can do realistically every day to take you one step closer to achieving your goal that you want to manifest by the 31st of March. Now, say, for example, one of your goal is to manifest having $0 owing on your credit card. You would then go and, if maybe you can afford to transfer $1 onto your credit card today, then simply do it. Maybe the next day it might be $10. Maybe you can brainstorm a whole pile of ideas to raise some money quickly to make that goal happen. But every day I want you to do one simple thing, no matter how big or how small, to take you one step closer to your manifestation success. And the more you do this, the more ideas you will get. It will create a flow, a movement. I was talking about those waves. Those are the waves of movement. And it is quite incredible, because the more you do it, and you have to not just think about these things, you actually have to act on them, because if you don't act on them, those ideas evaporate and the universe doesn't give you any more. Trust me, I've experienced this. When I haven't acted on ideas and inspiration and strategies, they stopped coming to me. So I had to learn, when you get onto it quickly, otherwise they go. And again, you create this very powerful rhythm, this momentum, because, okay, your credit card is now down by $1. Okay, what's next? And you're more open-minded and more willing to receive, and you're creating more space as well to receive, to work on that. So brainstorm as many different ideas, both big and small, of things that you can do, ideally on a daily basis, and I should say not ideally, essentially on a daily basis, that are going to be in positive alignment to you achieving those goals. There are no silly ideas, and in fact, some of my most ridiculous nutcase ideas have actually been a stroke of genius, and amazing things have come from that. And also, don't be afraid to keep your brainstorming list just to you. Brainstorm with other people. Let people know what you're working on so that they can give you ideas and inspiration as well. Okay, but write them down so that they don't evaporate, and promise me you'll get cracking on these. And yes, you can use the same idea on repeat. That is fine. All right, step number 7. Probably I'd say this is equally as important as the visualization work, and that is gratitude, okay? As I said, manifestation comes in many different forms. I won't repeat that list, but you get my gist now. The more you see, the more you get, okay? And the quicker it comes. So the moment a manifestation happens, please write it down, acknowledge that it happened, is really working, and then say thank you. Now, as I said, manifestation comes in very different forms. I should probably say this is from my experience. I'll be working on a manifestation goal, but then all these other beautiful things also come in with the manifestation work. So, for example, today, I'll explain my manifestation goal in a second. I was at a work event and I had the most incredible conversation with this girl sitting next to me about what is happening in China on social media and where the mindset is in China. And it was just mind-blowing. And she gave me all these incredible ideas and huge inspiration for an idea. Now, that is not actually technically linked to my goal right now. It could be further down the track, but I'm still incredibly grateful for that blessing. So I would acknowledge that and say to the universe, and I'd write it down, say, thank you so much for introducing me to this girl. She was amazing. She was inspiring. She was so intelligent. She was so knowledgeable. And she gave me some really good things to go and think about for myself in my own business, which, yes, may have a flow-on effect to achieving this goal or maybe achieving other goals that I want to work on after manifesting March. But you've got to understand it comes in many different forms. So the more you see, the more you get. And it might be something really tiny, like I just sold something on Gumtree for $40. So again, I'm going to show gratitude towards that. Thank you for releasing that for me. I'm incredibly grateful, and that opens up the space for more than to flow into you. Now, I want to share with you very quickly what my manifestation goal is for the 31st of March 2023. I'm not going to share with you though the actual dollar figure, because it's not about the money. It's about the intention, it's about the energy, it's about the growth behind it. So a couple of days ago, I actually didn't know what I wanted to manifest for manifesting March. I was stumped. I was no idea. And then all of a sudden, I remembered about a month or two ago, I got this email from my accountant's assistant saying, hi, Canna, if you want, you could put this large amount of money into superannuation and there's a special tax deduction you'll get. But you must do it before the 30th of June. And I remember reading going, that's great, but I don't have that amount of money. It's a large amount of money. Like, I was thinking in my head, like, what is she going on about? I don't have that in my business bank account. Like, love to do that, but don't have it. And I literally replied that to her. Anyway, I realized, I was like, that would be really cool to try and have a go at manifesting that money, that exact amount. That would be mind-blowing. So that's it. It hit me. And it was quite incredible. The moment it hit me, weird stuff happened. So within, I would say, an hour, I got a random phone call from a market research company asking me if I would like to do some market research on baby formula for $120. And I was like, oh my God, yes. And I really do believe that when you get the right goal, all of a sudden opportunities start landing in your lap. It's like the universe going, yep, that is perfect. We are going to be working on this together, Canna. And it gives you that support and that faith and that confidence and those signs that you are on the right path, and to keep going, keep your head up high, keep your chin up and shoulders back. So that happened. And then something else really weird happened. A friend of mine has a great business, and we were chatting, and he's like, I was talking to him, I'm like, why aren't you on social media? You're crazy. You are so good at what you do. You've got this incredible skill. And he was like, yeah, I know. He's like, I don't have the time. I don't know who to ask. I'm not comfortable. It was very, very overwhelming. And I realized I could do this for him. And I emailed him. I was like, hey, you know how you're talking about this? Well, I know what you need to do. I know how to do it properly. Would you like me to do this for you? And look, I'd love to do it for free, but I can't. But it's because it's going to take a lot of time. But I'm happy to do it at mates rates. But I can do this for you. Would you be interested? And I gave him a quote, and he replied and said yes. So I gave him a quote, and he wrote back, and said, you know what, this is really reasonable. I think this is great. I just need to check it off, but I'm pretty happy to go ahead with this. So that happened. Then the thing I sold on Gumtree. Now I have a whole pile of stuff sitting on Gumtree and it's not budging. I don't know why it's not budging, but literally within like, I think a couple of hours after that, I get a message on Gumtree, hey, is this still available by any chance? If so, I'd love to swing by and grab it. Now, I was like, wow, this is awesome. Okay, and I got $40. It's not much, but I'm incredibly grateful. I don't care. I am so incredibly grateful. That then goes towards this lump sum manifestation goal. And then another weird thing happened. So I have a lot of baby stuff which I need to sell. Some of it is already listed online. And I got a call from a friend who is in a bit of a dilemma. And she's like, I need baby stuff. And I need baby stuff urgently. And I was like, okay, no problem. I'll help you. Like, I can give you a pram. I can give you a cot. I can give you a baby carrier. I can give you a mattress. I can give you bed sheets. I can give you blankets. I can give you like all this stuff. And even though I've got all that stuff online and more stuff to go online, and I'm not going to be able to do that anymore, I'm not going to get money that I can put towards this lump sum, I'm fine with that because I'm just grateful for the opportunity to help someone out in need. And she said, oh, look, I'll give you money. I was like, don't be silly. I don't want money. You just have this, okay? You need this. You can have this. Come and collect this when you're ready. And she said, we'll be there on Sunday. And I just let it go. I wasn't attached to it. And yes, I will admit there was a little bit within me. I was like, oh, bugger, I'm going to have to find something else to sell to get this as closest steps to money. I have to go back to my brainstorming list. But I was like, no, like, I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. Let it go. And she said to me, I'll give all this back to you once I'm done. And I was like, please don't. I want you to keep it, and then I want you to go in and sell this yourself, and I want you to keep the money, or I want you to pass this on to someone else in need that needs all this stuff. And she was so incredibly grateful. And what the blessing to me was being able to help a friend out in need, and be able to help a friend out in need quickly. So it was amazing. And then what happened? About 5 hours after that, I get a text message from someone saying that they want to do business with me. And it's not a little bit of business, it's a very large amount of business, and they've already decided what the fee is, and the fee is actually more than what I would have actually imagined or expected. I was like, oh my God. So I do wonder if there is a link between letting go and being grateful, and then allowing the space to more stuff and greater abundance to flow back towards you. So I don't want to count my chickens till they hatch, because that's also a very important element of manifestation. But when I then called this person to say, like, are you serious? What's going on? It actually turned out to be even a bigger job opportunity than I expected. But it's pretty much, they're like, no, we just got a couple of final things to sort off, and then we're on our way. So already, like, weird things are happening. And yes, I will be really honest with you. My objective, my goal, my dream for manifesting March, the 31st of March, 2023, scares me. I am scared I'm going to have egg on my face. I'm scared I'm going to fall flat on my face. But I'm also really excited. I'm really excited about what I'm going to learn, what I'm going to discover, what skill set I'm going to fine tune. I'm also really excited for the fact that I may not necessarily get to that particular number, but I'm excited about getting as close as I possibly can. And I'm not going to lose anything in doing this particular challenge. And I'm really going to open myself up to the lessons, the wisdom, the insights, the new connections, the new friendships, the new creative elements that come out from this. And that is the beauty of manifesting March. It's not actually necessarily about the money. It's about the growth. It's about the experiences. It's about getting rid of any self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs. And this is something that I have had a challenge with in my past. I've done some really great manifestation work in my life, but I've also done some really atrocious self-sabotaging work, which I will share in a podcast which is the other half of the house story. Now, I'm about to wrap this podcast up. Thank you everyone for being so patient with me, and apologies if you can hear my dogs barking in the background. Real life of Canna Campbell and Sugar Mama's Fire play. Now, on a different note, I have almost finished this special program about manifestation and mindset, and I'll be launching it most likely in the next 4 to 5 weeks. But I will only be launching it on my lifestyle Instagram account at Canna Campbell Official, because I feel a lot safer with my community that follows me there. They're a lot more open and accepting and interested in this type of work. I know that manifestation work, as I said, can be a little bit polarizing. It's not for everyone. So I promise you next week we'll be back to my usual content, which is obviously, as I said, retirement planning, superannuation, investing, passive income, hustling, budgeting, cash flow, all that very, very important, practical, high value stuff that we must all do and apply in our lives, ideally as early as possible. So that there is a program coming out for you to use as a very helpful tool along the way if you're interested, and I will share the details when it launches on my on my Instagram account at Canna Campbell Official. All right, I'm going to wrap this podcast up. I've managed to get into the 35-minute mark. I'm really proud of myself, and I wish everyone the best in doing this work. If you're going to do it, please keep me posted. DM me through Instagram. It's me that you get back, not a staff member. It's me that you're connecting with. And if you need help with your manifestation work, don't hesitate to help. I'm here to serve you. And I can't wait to see and hear what happens to you during Manifesting March. Let the manifesting magic begin.